And welcome back to the Delaware Boys Dynasty Football Podcast with your host in the top left and top right corner. Deli, it's good to be back, man. Took a little hiatus, Easter break, working a lot, both of us. But it's good to be back, man. I see you got your room a little bit more set up, man. You got the giant Super Bowl flags in the back. Okay. A little bit of lighting, you know what I mean? Going more football pro.
Yeah.
Anything else you added to the room since we talked last?
Nah, so it's the same. Just got the flag, some lights. Kiddo and Harvard over here. Statue of Liberty. That's
Okay.
it, baby.
Okay. There was something you wanted to talk about, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and get your stuff out of the way. I know you were dying to talk to the fans, so go ahead, buddy.
Ready to talk. Nah, just trying to get part of the intro. But yeah, today we're just talking about rookies, how the draft went, maybe some risers and fallers down draft boards, just general conversation. Super excited about this conversation. We tried to get a video out before the draft started, but timings didn't match up, and we didn't get to touch on like our 5 through 10s. But we got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah. Also, guys, it's a huge time in sports right now. Playoff hockey starts tomorrow. Penguins drew a first-round matchup with the New York Rangers. Last year got put out in 5 games by the Islanders, so hopefully we can make a run one more time. Second round of the NBA playoffs started today. Bucks Celtics. Did not see the Bucks taking the first game. Hell of a game played though. But
yeah, Giannis went crazy.
Giannis triple-double.
He went crazy.
I told Frankie that they were going to win that series.
Yeah,
he was unstoppable.
I was talking with a couple of guys. Boston, the best defense in the NBA. No question.
It didn't look like it today. It looked like Milwaukee had the best.
There's no defender better than
NBA.
Giannis.
And I say this. I said without Chris Middleton playing and, you know, the uncertainty about him and his injury, I could have seen Boston winning this in 5, possibly 6. I do want to take that back, man.
You'll have to.
Yeah,
Wow.
Giannis triple-double, man. He played his ass off.
Their defense looked crazy. Brook Lopez was a machine.
In Boston.
In Boston. And
I do think Boston throws a shot though.
Yeah, I
only
still
one
think it's
game.
going to be a close
It could be a
series.
gentleman's sweep. I mean,
Yeah,
but I don't see it happening.
we have a Warriors fan in the podcast as well. Congrats on the very narrow win today.
Steph with the lockdown
started
defense at the end.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Warriors played a tough game. I got you guys winning in 5. Didn't like what I saw from the Grizzlies in the Minnesota series anyway. Down late in a lot of games. Fourth quarter was clutch when it came to the Grizzlies. But
I think Minnesota matched up well against the Grizz. That's the only reason they gave them a lot of difficulty.
yeah, nobody can really guard Karl Anthony Towns in that series, to be honest with you.
True.
Anthony Edwards was a bucket in that series too. Very impressed with that kid.
He broke out. He's solid.
But I remember you said Dallas is your team out of the West. Dallas going in with a tough matchup, man. Thoughts?
They are. I mean, I knew it when they were the 4 seed. I like them. They're playing good. Brunson is playing out of his mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can just get that work from the bench that they've got the whole series against the Jazz, they just carry that over. I mean, obviously, there's no team tougher than Phoenix. So I think if they get by them, I like it.
Made a $20 bet with Spicer Ryan. Pretty interesting. He's a diehard Phoenix Suns fan. Has been for ever since I've known him, and it goes back 15 years. So he told me that Dallas can't win one game. I said, okay.
One game?
It's hard to sweep a team in basketball.
It is. So I put $20 on one game. Spicer's just going to be taking L's to me all year, man. Coming up in our draft, May 9th, we got our draft. He's got the food purchased for the whole draft because of the Jonathan Taylor bet. Can't wait for that. We are streaming that, by the way, first round. I did tell you that. Pretty excited about it. AJ, our draft is May 15th. So we're going to jump into it based off your draft. I just want your guys' general consensus. How do you think this rookie board's going to fall?
I mean, if you look at the mock draft before and after, there's already huge differences. People coming up and down. The board switched up way more than I thought it was going to. Some of the receivers didn't get their greatest landing spots. Willis went to the Titans in like the third round.
Third round, I think it was pick 89.
86.
Yeah. So a lot of shifting.
Yeah, me too. The one thing I'll say about this, the consensus 101 stayed the same. There's no question about it. Very excited about what the Jets did in general in the draft. I think they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. A lot of people will say the best corner went to them at 4. To me, it was pretty close between him and Stingley. I really didn't care either way. But to land the best wide receiver at pick 10 when the Falcons took a wide receiver at pick 8 blew my mind a little bit, but we're going to go with it. Then you get Breece Hall at 36, 34, 36. And you get Jermaine Johnson at 26. Top 4 picks. I give the Jets an A+. I got Breece Hall 101, and I do agree with you. I think the board has completely changed. Completely.
You guys think it's going to be 2 Jets first 2 picks off the board?
I don't see why not. I like Garrett Wilson in that system. I said this. They never did this for Darnold. Never gave him this kind of help. I think Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson is a great wide receiver combo, and I think they're going to continue to get better throughout the draft. They have a lot of draft capital in 23 as well. You had a future star running back, in my opinion. I love Breece Hall. Everybody knows that. And you bring over some veteran leadership and CJ Uzoma. I think this offense is actually sneaky underrated. Not saying they're going to be a top 10 or anything, but I could see them finishing well. So why not go Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall?
So I'm not a big Garrett Wilson guy myself, but sorry, Dell, I didn't mean to cut you off. Just not. I know I texted you guys during the draft and was a little upset about the Drake London pick, but I've started to come around on it a little bit more. 140 targets available coming out of Atlanta between Gage leaving and Ridley being suspended. So, I mean, somebody's got to catch the ball there. He's a big kid. I personally liked London more than I liked Wilson going into the draft process anyway. London I had as my number 2 or 3 wide receiver just on any given day. Basically, Jameson was the one I was flip-flopping between London and Jameson, but just with the injury, I think I leaned more London anyway, so I wasn't too mad about it, just kind of was looking to get a defensive player. But we had a pretty solid draft at the end, coming back in the second round, drafting the kid out of Penn State, drafting the linebacker. I can't remember his name, but they're calling him the Taysom Hill of defense. So watch some of his tape. He's a pretty good, pretty athletic kid, especially for pigment of his skin, I'll say. But really, really happy with the draft we had. I was a little down on it at first. Ritter, think he's going to be able to give Mariota a run for his money later in the season, maybe even take that job. I don't think he'll be able to get it coming out, but just later in the season, I think Ritter could take that job for Mariota. So that's all around good draft.
I did like that. I totally forgot about Desmond Ritter to the Falcons. Sneaky pick. I was pretty excited about that as well.
Yeah.
And
he was my QB1, so.
Okay. By the way, player you're talking about is Ekiteki from Penn State.
I didn't want to butcher it, man. I didn't want to butcher it.
It's all good, man. Good player for you guys. Played a lot of a hybrid role. Hands down on line of scrimmage. I noticed that
Don't rush the passer for us.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I know you guys are pretty thin on the defensive line. Desmond, I was excited about that pick. I had him at QB3. Flip flop between Willis and Pickett, and like I said, I was pretty excited that we got the more complete passer in Kenny Pickett. I think Willis has the strongest arm in the class, but I do think his technique, footwork, things like that need a lot of work. I think he's more of a developmental project. I think Kenny Pickett can step in a little bit sooner than Malik can and not win, but play well. So Kenny Pickett at 20. I was excited.
You and all the other Steelers fans, man. It was a weird pick, though.
I think Kenny Pickett's the only quarterback I actually liked out of this draft class, to be honest. Ritter's not bad, but he doesn't scramble outside the pocket ever, which is like weird, considering he's mobile.
Yeah. He's when he plays well, he kind of looks like Tony Romo, but not comparing him to Tony Romo. Just his upside.
He plays really tall in the pocket, which is good.
Yes.
Kind of similar to how Matt Ryan was. I mean, they're 2 totally different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But he plays tall in the pocket. I mean, if you watch his film in Cincinnati, He always stood tall. He stood in there, took a shot when he delivered the ball.
He made
Always
decisions quick.
Yeah, and he always found a way to deliver the ball at a high point to his wide receivers, which is good for Drake London. I'm not the biggest London guy, but I mean, you got to utilize his size. That's
we have a basketball team out there.
That might be a good combo with Pitts and London and Ritter. I mean, that could be a good future in the next couple of years.
Yeah, AJ definitely hit it on the mark. Stands tall in the pocket, can definitely move up the pocket well. Sees the pressure coming and can step up and make that decision quick, like you said. Those are things that if you watch Malik Willis, he doesn't do well all the time. His footwork is kind of inconsistent as well. So I had Ritter. Going back through it, I like Ritter to the Atlanta. I think you guys got a good one that you'll be able to develop. Like I said, Mariota's
at the value.
Yeah, Mariota's on a prove-it deal. Same with Mitch. It could be a 1 year for Mitch. Who knows? We'll see.
I honestly think that Willis will be he'll start first out of all the quarterbacks. Is my opinion. I think that he'll take what Tannehill did in the playoffs last year was just. I think Tennessee had enough. I mean, they got 9 sacks, and he still cost them the game. Those turnovers were so costly against Cincinnati. I think Derrick Henry, obviously, he's on the back end probably. Why not just take a shot with Willis maybe if he can kind of prove himself in camp? But I think he gets the start before any of the other two.
I don't disagree, but that contract that Tannehill got might keep him on the field a little bit longer than you think his talent will.
Maybe.
That was a terrible game, man. We were talking about that too, Frankie. 3 interceptions, 2 in the red zone as well. That was a brutal game. 9 sacks.
Terrible.
And the 2-minute drill too.
Yeah. Your defense creates 9 sacks and you lose the game.
The turnovers weren't even close. That was the worst part. It was like it was like it was blind and he just threw him right to the other team. It was crazy.
But yeah, talking about the other QBs, Sam Howell goes to Washington. I don't know. You know what I mean? You got
yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't really think he's relevant to fantasy.
Right. Yeah.
Or football.
So, out of all these quarterbacks, do you guys think any of them start this year at all? Because I don't think any of them do.
I'll send him.
No, I definitely not week 1. And if any of them do, I don't see it being unless one of the guys ahead of them gets hurt or is just like playing.
No, not even week 1. Like I'm talking like at all.
No, that's what I mean. I'm only if injury occurs or if Mitch Trubisky plays like the trash that some people think that Mitch Trubisky is, then I could see them having to put Kenny Pickett in, especially with him being a Pitt kid. That's kind of a lot of pressure. He was the only first-round kid, so I think he's probably the only one that's going to have that kind of pressure to even get put in, especially being from Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh, with Mitch Trubisky having the small contract that he has and the small leash that I'm sure he's going to have. I can see Pickett getting in. Like the other guys, no. I can see Tannehill holding on to that job at least until their bye week, and I can definitely see Mariota being comfortable in Arthur Smith's system, holding on to that job for a little bit too.
Maybe Matt Corral. I mean, do they really believe in Sam Darnold?
Fair.
Yeah, that's the only one I was going to bring up. So
I mean, I'm not big on any of these quarterbacks, but the quarterbacks that are in front of them, like you said, they're on prove-it deals. You got Tannehill, who I think they're fed up with, and he's 34, I believe. And then Sam Darnold. I mean, all those quarterbacks are replaceable. So
yeah, but Tannehill's contract isn't a prove-it deal. Tannehill's cap hit.
No. That's why.
Then like Patrick Mahomes.
I'm talking about Mariota and Trubisky. They're prove-it deals.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Same with Darnold. I mean,
yeah,
Darnold's no long-term guy either.
Yeah.
But I think Corral is your one if anybody does start.
Yeah.
Anytime this year, it'll be Corral.
But even then, I think he's going to get rushed out there. He's not going to play well. So it's like
they're years away. They need to trade McCaffrey now.
Who's your Davis Mills of this draft class?
I mean, for any rookie to come in and play well is asking for a lot. I mean, there's only so many Justin Herberts that come out in the NFL. I mean, and take it by storm. You know what I mean? And Justin Herbert.
No, I said, who's your Davis Mills?
I think Matt Corral. I mean, he's got DJ Moore. He's got McCaffrey. He's got Robbie Anderson there. I mean, at least he has weapons.
But like you said, they need to trade McCaffrey now.
Mm-hmm.
For his values in the shitter.
I like Ritter though. I was coming around on him before the draft. I hate to say it as a Bucks fan. I mean, he went to a good spot that he could take over. But we'll see. Atlanta needs they need to build a lot of stuff there. That offensive line they tried to address it a couple years in the draft, but it doesn't seem they've really panned out. They still don't have a running game. They still don't have a running game.
No, we do not.
Is Ridley going to come back and play for them?
I hope not.
No.
I mean, he's still a good talent, but I don't see it. I've seen crazier stuff happen in the NFL.
He's going to be 28 when he comes back, I'm pretty sure. He was already old, and now he's going to sit out a year. So,
Yeah.
no, I'm good on that. And he's going to want a contract? No, I don't think he's coming back to Atlanta.
Another team I had a great draft. Go ahead, Ryan. Talk about it, man. 2 picks in the top 7, man. Congrats to the Giants. I think the GM stepped up and had a great draft. Go ahead, man. I'll let you take the floor for a little bit.
ISO.
Yeah, trust and showing, baby. Listen. Oh, my God. I knew going into it, I was like, whatever he does, he's got a plan. But nah, Thibodeau, kind of falling to us, I didn't see it coming, honestly. It only happens if Walker goes first, in my mind at least. So I think we got pretty blessed to have him fall to us. And then Neal, who I have as my number 1 lineman in the whole draft, coming in. I'm excited. All these years, the Giants have tried to hit on offensive linemen, and we've missed completely. I think this might be the one that sticks. Get Daniel Jones upright, see what he can actually do, and then go from there. And then Wandale, which is a little bit questionable for me, but like I said, trust and showing. I'm sure they got a plan for him. We'll see how it goes.
So we got Frankie at 8, talked about Drake London. I didn't know if the Bucks were going to make a pick. They didn't. But Logan Hall, pick 33. Actually liked that pick.
He said he's pretty NFL ready already. I mean,
yeah, the end out of Houston. Comes in at like 6'6", 280, straight bull rusher, plays powerful. Dude's a monster.
Yeah, can't even lie. I don't know anything about him until they talk about him. You don't hear much about Houston pass rushers, but I hope he comes in and makes an impact, obviously. I mean, I didn't know who the guy they took last year, Joe Tryon. He was solid for us as a rotational pass rusher. Not having JPP, Sue, there's definitely playing opportunity there. So, I mean, we got to get after the quarterback.
Any chance you bring back Sue for a playoff run one more time?
I think it's a possibility with Brady there. I think anybody's I mean, we're still waiting on Gronk. That's who I'm really hoping we bring back.
Yeah, Gronk had a little bit of a press conference, man. Gronk talking a little bit.
Yeah, I need him to come back. It's very valuable, especially with Godwin probably going to be sidelined at least 3 or 4 weeks at least. I need somebody to step up behind Evans. I don't know if that's Tyler Johnson or who it's going to be. But
Russell Gage.
Yeah, Russell Gage. We signed John Brown.
You guys got plenty of people. Stop tripping.
Yeah.
You sound like a homer. I don't know who's going to step up.
I don't. I have no idea.
We just signed this offseason.
Whoever Tom Brady's going to throw the ball to, I guess.
Yeah, like what the
We
hell?
drafted Rashawn White in the 3rd. He's a solid running back at Arizona State. He's a good pass catcher. He's bigger than I thought. He's like 216.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid for him. So we'll see if he has any type of impact in the passing game.
Yeah. Losing Rojo, your backup guy, your little rotational guy. Seeing him get him like a couple touches a game, couple carries, couple catches.
Yeah, him and Keyshawn.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think we glossed over some stuff with Deli on the Giants. How do you feel about the Giants talking about trading Tony and then drafting Wan'Dale Robinson out of Kentucky?
Well, it's all smoke anyway. They're not moving Tony. But it is kind of weird to have 2 sort of like gadget guys on your roster. So I don't.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, man. It seems like they drafted his replacement.
Yeah. Is Galladay going to be on the field?
Jump the gun.
How do you feel about the rest of their draft, though, Deli, other than the first 2 picks?
I said Wandale. I mean, don't love him, but with other wide receivers there, I guess I don't mind it. I like Mechie, actually. I think that was a pretty good spot for him to the Texans.
I like the Texans draft a lot, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty. I like that for them. I would have felt a little bit better with Mechie, but we'll see how it goes. I didn't mind his tape. I don't know.
Right. Redundant with.
We already have Tony. We already have a gadget guy. We don't need another one.
Yeah. It was weird for me too to see Chase Claypool make the draft selection pick.
That was so weird.
Aaron Jones made the pick for the Packers. Like, why?
Yeah, but Claypool's getting traded, right? Like, for one of those guys got to go.
Yeah. See, now the thing about it is, you go watch George Pickens. He can create separation as a big guy.
Right.
Claypool can't. Claypool being a second-round pick, we don't have long. We got 4 years dedication to Claypool. We're going into year 3. He gets traded. He gets traded. If he gets released after year 4, goes somewhere else, finds a home, cool.
I mean, what would you think if they traded DJ? Because he's probably going to want the bigger contract.
No, we're not trading Deontay. Don't even talk about that crazy shit.
Just saying, man. He's going to want the bigger contract out of those guys.
Yeah, see, before Christian,
and they sent Claypool out there. They didn't send Deontay Johnson out there.
Before
Just saying.
Whoa, facts.
Before Christian Kirk and this dumb shit for the wide receiver market, I was comfortable paying Deontay 4 for 72.
Not happening now, bro.
Nope.
It ain't
I want 4 for 100, like AJ Brown.
Yeah, you're talking hundreds, bro.
Minimum.
The 90s.
And Pittsburgh's not paying that.
I'm saying, I feel like you're in a little bit of denial over there, Chalmers. They drafted.
I see you sweating a little bit, actually. He's sweating. At least I need a drink.
Thursday over there, getting hot.
I love them out of Toledo. Love the tape, man. Dude's he's a nasty route runner. He's working on the hands. Like, I'm just so impressed, man. If we pay him the AJ Brown money, so be it. But I'm not letting Minka walk over him. It is what it is. We got some choices to make because this is the offseason to do it, and we'll see.
Yeah.
But got to get down to it, boys. I hate the Ravens, but goddamn, they had a great other than losing Marquise Brown. First round pick, got the trade back and got Tyler Linderbaum out of it. And I saw something. I can't remember the last time a first round center failed and wasn't successful.
9 for 9. The last 9 centers have been they've all received the second contract. A lot of them been solid Pro Bowl candidates. Like, centers are for sure hit in the first round.
Right. Bradley Bozeman is now replaced. They're not going to miss Bradley Bozeman. Tyler Linderbaum is an absolute animal.
Travis Jones, a beast.
I think he's going to play well in that system, especially for a heavy run game. Then you got 3 safeties that are going to play on the field. I mean, Kyle Hamilton goes to Baltimore. I mean, the no-fly zone is back. I don't want to play this defense. They're going to be nasty.
They're going to eat up Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, no, you really don't. Really don't.
Little hands, Kenny about to throw all the interceptions.
They're putting Burrow and Kenny on watch.
Little hands all in the division. It's over for you guys.
Better hold on to that ball, baby.
It gets cold in the summer.
But I'm just gonna be interested to see how they use Kyle Hamilton. I mean, I know Marlon Humphrey has a Jalen Ramsey type role used all over the field, nickel on the line of scrimmage, vice versa, things like that. So I can't wait to see how they use Kyle Hamilton. We're kind of in the mix because, like I said, I can see Kyle Hamilton being an Isaiah Simmons. The problem is he's 30 pounds lighter than Isaiah Simmons. You know what I mean? Does that take effect into it? We'll see, because I don't see him as a traditional linebacker, outside linebacker coverage type guy. I think he needs to play safety. We were talking about Chuck Clark, though. He's only locked in for one more year, probably going, but we'll see. But I like Kyle Hamilton a lot. I'm really upset that Washington traded back and didn't take Kyle Hamilton.
In terms of fantasy, how y'all feeling about Bateman now?
I don't think he changed for me, but I think his stock went up a little bit. As far as the player, I don't think he's a wide receiver 1 is what I'm getting at. His stock has to go up because he's going to get that target share. But right now, they have to somehow get a wide receiver 1. I think Debo makes too much sense for them. If a team was to go out to get him, I think that's a perfect spot. but John Lynch seems to be pretty decided on not trading him, which is a smart move. But you can't.
I say, why would you?
Yeah, you can't force somebody to play though. I mean, it seems like he's pretty adamant about not playing. I mean, Le'Veon Bell was kind of in the same role. He was a receiver, not just a running back. And then he held out, and look what happened to him. It's kind of the opposite with Debo. He's a wide receiver that doesn't want to be a running back.
I stand behind AJ too on this. If I'm John Lynch, I got to come off. A player that's not going to play for me means nothing.
Yeah.
You can get. We did the same for Le'Veon. He held out. We saved $18 million. Hurt him in the long run. His career was not the same. Left.
Big time.
But AJ is right. If any team fits Debo Samuel, it is the Ravens. They make perfect sense. The way Greg Roman schemes things up for his wide receivers and you to get them valuable touches.
And their run game.
Yeah. But the only thing about it is he doesn't want to run the ball. He doesn't want to take carries out of the backfield.
I'm not saying that you got to give him the same kind of volume, but it doesn't mean you can't let him touch the ball out of the backfield ever, especially in a run game that's that proficient and that efficient. You got to, if he's that good at it, you're not, I don't care what he wants, he's going to get the ball.
RPO jet sweeps with Debo and Lamar, that's unstoppable.
I agree with you. I just think it's stupid that he doesn't want to take carries out of the backfield.
I mean, I understand why, though. If running backs if you're not going to get paid like a running back and a wide receiver, then why the hell – if you don't want to do other people's jobs when you go to work either, so why the hell should he want to?
But do you know that, though? I mean, the wide receiver market has just changed this offseason. He could get a $130 million deal. We don't know. Not yet.
The wide receivers aren't supposed to take that many hits
he's not going to get paid if he's getting beat up like that.
That's what I was gonna say. You take care. There's a way more impactful hits and action than it is catching the ball.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
You can't even defenders can't even hit a wide receiver until they literally take 3 steps after they catch the ball. To whereas a running back is running into a defensive lineman who's 300 pounds. That's not even close to the same thing.
And I can't tell you the exact carry numbers, but I want to say it was probably more like 60s. That is a lot of carries for a wide receiver.
I thought he was in the 80s for some
reason. Maybe I thought it was 60 off the top of my head. It might be more. I mean, if it is more, then it is a lot of carries. But
it's a lot of carries either way.
So with the
back to Bateman, do you guys want to target him in any league?
Yes.
I would definitely try to target him if you're a wide receiver needy team. I don't know if I would overpay for him though. Is kind of how I would look at it.
Would you be
obviously his price went up, but what was that?
Would you be comfortable with him as a wide receiver 3 on your team?
Oh, for sure. With that type of target share, yeah. Again, I'm not necessarily saying the talent's there, but if any targets are king in fantasy. So if he's going to be the one getting the second most targets on that team behind Andrews, then absolutely.
Just one off the top of my head. Would you rather have him or Allen Robinson?
Allen Robinson.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Would you rather?
I would factor in age in that. 28 to 23, I think Bateman is.
He had, by the way, just to come back, Debo had 59 carries last year.
I was tripping. My bad.
Yeah, 60. That's a lot.
Allen Robinson's a good name. Let's keep it going. Let's go with the older guy, Rashad Bateman or Keenan Allen.
Keenan's only a couple months older than Allen Robinson.
In Dynasty, I'd probably go.
I'm going Keenan
still. So yeah,
Keenan's a top 13 receiver in my rankings.
He's going to play with Herbert till he retires, most likely. So,
all right. So where do you guys have Bateman value-wise? I mean, I'm trying to find it.
I got him right there, probably. Low end.
Pull my rankings.
Wide receiver 30 area.
Yeah,
I haven't updated my rankings since the draft.
I haven't looked at my rankings since the draft either.
Rashad Bateman or Darnell Mooney?
I like Bateman.
Bateman.
I like Lamar more than Justin Fields.
Bateman.
Okay. So, I mean, we're trying to find that middle ground. So, we're working.
Bateman or St. Brown?
Bateman.
Especially once Williams
Maybe if Williams wasn't added, I would say St. Brown, but Williams is there now. So
let's transition right over to Detroit because I like that offense outside of Jared Goff.
That team.
That offense is solid.
Quarterback's coming next year. Quarterback's coming next year.
It's still a year away for that offense, in my
Hawkinson,
opinion.
St.
I like
Brown,
the
Williams,
groundwork
Swift.
they've done, but I don't like that offense this year.
Yeah.
For Dynasty, I love that offense, but for redraft or for win now mode, no thank you.
People don't talk about it, but the Detroit Lions have a very underrated offensive line too, man. They are set. Like you said, the 20 class is your QB. They are a QB away from being a fucking powerhouse.
They got an all-pro tackle in Sewell. He's going to be all-pro.
Taylor Decker too. I like Taylor Decker on the line as well. Like I said, very underrated line. That's a team that I think also killed the draft.
I was gonna say, didn't they just draft an offensive lineman as well? Hold on, I'm pulling it up now. You guys keep talking. I'm looking up their draft. I apologize.
But believe it or not, I mean, cool story. I don't know. I know AJ, you're a big Michigan fan. So I'm assuming you had Aiden Hutchinson as the first player off the board.
He's the most proven. They took Trayvon Walker off of hope that he's going to get better than what he did at Georgia.
Yeah.
The athletic profile is what they did. I mean, Hutchinson is just unreal to me. I mean, I'm taking Hutchinson over Walker.
His T-Rex arms don't bother you at all?
They bother Ohio State.
That was a question for you.
Remember that game?
Just asking.
Own them. It's about time we got that monkey off our back.
Cool story.
I've been waiting to get that one off for a minute. No, Detroit did not draft an offensive lineman this year. That's my apologies. They did go heavy on their defense, though. They took 2 defensive linemen, a safety, and 2 linebackers and a corner.
Well, they got that guy from Kentucky.
Yes, Josh Paschal.
Yeah, that's him. He looked good.
Yeah,
He's quick. They compared him to Donnell Hunter.
That would be awesome for them.
I mean, that's a reach, but I don't like comparisons.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're comparing Hutchinson to a Bosa and then that kid to Donnell Hunter, then the Lions have the best defensive line in 2023 and 2024.
They still got Trey Flowers, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got Trey Flowers there.
Boy, I hate comparisons. Comparisons are always so terrible.
It was just a cool story, though, man. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson,
for sure,
Michigan gets to play a Big Blue. By the way, we do not like Michigan on this podcast.
He grew up in Michigan.
Yeah,
AJ loves Michigan.
He's from he's from Flint, Michigan.
Michigan
plays it. I hate Michigan. Can't stand Michigan.
You're the only one who hates Michigan. You said we hate Michigan on this podcast.
It's a strong word. It's a strong word for a Penn State fan. I mean, I don't think the rivalry's that strong. I don't hate Penn State.
No, I hate Ohio State more than I hate
Ohio State more than anything.
I hate Ohio State as well. We can say this is an Ohio State hating podcast.
Ohio State.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Let's go. We should make the banner. The banner should be "Fuck Ohio State."
And even more "Fuck Urban Meyer," just to be clear.
Like I said, cool story. Kid grows up in Michigan. Kid gets drafted in Michigan. There's no cooler story than that, obviously, other than Kenny Pickett.
His dad's an alumni there too.
Yeah, it was cool. And like I said, I think they got the best player in the draft. I agree with you. Trayvon Walker is more of a project than Aiden Hutchinson. He's ready to roll. Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a day one impact guy. Trayvon's got to get better. They got to hope he gets better.
That's a Jacksonville pick.
So Jamison, I'm excited to see Jamison in that offense too, with St. Brown and Hawkinson and Swift. I think that offense is even with Goff. I know I said I'm out. Yeah, I forgot about Chark, but I know I said I'm out on this offense for this year. But I just think that skill group is kind of built like how Detroit built their offense. Just add a quarterback and you're ready to explode. The way Detroit went out and got all the offensive skill position, they tried to build their offensive line up a little bit, and then you just go out there and add Russ in, and you're ready to pop. So I think Detroit is either going to do something like that next offseason, or I don't know if they're going to be.
Denver.
What's that? Or who did I say? I apologize.
Detroit.
Oh,
I was trying to figure out the whole time who you're talking about.
It took me a second too.
I meant Denver. That's my bad. But yeah, Detroit did the Denver thing and built the skill position guys, built the offensive line. Now they tried to shore up their defense. Every year there's an unhappy player. So if they can get a good unhappy quarterback, then they're good. I don't think they're going to be bad enough to have a top pick next year with the way their team building's going right now. So I don't think Bryce Young or any of the other top quarterbacks next year are in play for them. So I do think that their team building is going well. I just don't think for fantasy or dynasty this year, I would necessarily bank on having any of those guys be productive. But Williams, if you can get your hand on him, do that. That guy is special.
I think the Detroit offense is just a year away for sure.
Yeah. Now my question to you is: are you buying early and just stashing? You know what I mean?
Yep.
On Williams, yes. On the rest of those guys, I would say probably not. Just Swift, I think he's going to have probably a really good year this year. And then on running backs, kind of like Delhi, I'm not really trying to have a guy coming off of his best year as a guy I'm going to target. So Swift, I think for this year maybe, but I don't think I'm buying early on Swift. St. Brown, I think he kind of had a pretty good end of the year, but I don't see him being that kind of receiver for his whole career. So Williams is probably the only guy out of that whole thing that I'm buying early. Hawkinson, if you have him, I'm holding on to him. If you can get Hawkinson, sure, tight end's a weird position for me. I know AJ's the tight end guy, but Hawkinson, yeah, if you can get Hawkinson, hold on to him. If you don't have him, then I don't think it's that.
I went out and got Hawkinson in 3 leagues as soon as the season ended this offseason.
I know.
So, and he's sitting behind Kelsey for me, so he's not even one of my starters. So he's a perfect hold for me, like you said. I have no intentions on trading him, just banking on a breakout.
This is the tight end guru right here, boys.
Hopefully it's this season, and he can just step in next year, fill for Kelsey. But they need a quarterback.
So, Frankie, AJ, 101 is not in question in your league. 102 is. Where do you guys think Dustin goes? I can't remember his roster. I know he traded Mixon. Can you see him going Kenneth Walker?
I could see him, but personally, I see him more like Chris Olave. I think he's more of a home run hitter type of person. Dustin's he's a wild card. You never know what he's going to do. He might not like any of these receivers. He might say, I don't like the Atlanta quarterback situation. With the London there, he's probably not going to take a Lion. It's kind of the mentality I think he gives off rather than the player profile itself. He's thinking about teams. I could see him just saying, let me get Olave and hope for a Jalen Waddle type of season because of the speed. I know they play the ball different. They play the field differently, but I can just see a Chris Olave at the 2. And everybody like, oh, wow.
I think he's crazy enough to go James Cook at 2, just based off him landing with Buffalo.
Honestly, no lie. You're not even in the league. He's always rostered the Buffalo running backs.
Yeah, he's had both. He's had Zach Moss and Devin Singletary for the last 3 years.
That's weird.
Does he still have Singletary right now?
Yeah, he does.
Well, then, yeah, I could see him going Cook, just not a 2. I don't know if he's that crazy.
Okay.
Well,
I didn't know if it was that bad.
I don't know. I don't know if he needs a QB because he's still got Brady. Wild card, could he take Pickett at 102?
He could. I'm pulling it up to see who his QB2 is. I thought it was somebody old as well.
He's got Mac Jones on his roster.
Oh, well, he's a Patriots fan, yeah.
Yeah, he's got Mac Jones. He's got Brady. He had we made a trade for Big Ben because I was so QB.
He's got Carr, Trubisky, and
he needs a running back.
Mac Jones, yeah.
He needs a running back.
Quarterback. He's got Henry and Hubbard.
So Kenneth Walker makes the most sense.
He's got Penny. Penny's his RB2. I can see him taking Walker.
I can see him taking Walker then, yeah.
Well, there you go, Frankie. You got your shot at wide receivers, bud. Who you taking, man? Give me a preview.
You're going to pair up London with Pitts?
I'm thinking London, but like I said, those 140 targets are tough, and I like the idea of him and Pitts together. But Traylon Burks was the guy that I liked the most going into the draft process. Maybe not necessarily going into the draft by the time it all was said and done. But I love Traylon Burks, and I think again that target share is just ridiculous. Julio's gone now. AJ Brown's gone now. I just could see him having the most production out of those guys. But London being just a 6'5" horse down there that's just going to get red zone production no matter what is going to be awesome. But I can see Pitts having a pretty big touchdown spike as well this year because he only ended the season with 1 last year. So London, Burks are probably the guys I would be looking at the most there. I'm not big on Wilson with the Jets, not because I don't like Wilson, just because I think Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, CJ Uzama. It's, again, a lot of mouths to feed there. And they just obviously drafted, excuse me. Sorry, I had a little frog in my throat there, but they just drafted the running back, blanking on his name, at Iowa State. Yeah, your guy, Brees Hall. Sorry, forgot his name for whatever reason. But, yeah, a lot of mouths to feed in the Jets offense. So I don't necessarily think I would go Wilson at 1-3. I don't think he's a bad pick later in the draft, but 1-3, I don't think I'd go Wilson there.
That's the one I wanted to talk about. Eagles made a huge splash. First-round pick, 18th overall, and a third-round pick for A.J. Brown. Tennessee steps in and essentially drafts A.J. Brown 2.0. Goes right into an A.J. Brown type role. Like you said, I hate player comparisons. You don't know until he gets on the field. But Treylon Burks, man, 103.
Treylon Burks does look a lot like A.J. Brown, to be fair.
He does. That's what I was going to ask. Do you think he can step in day one and play a similar role?
I sure
He's
do.
gonna have to.
Look, I don't see why not. I really don't.
Right, I don't see why he can't.
Competition.
And I don't think that there's anybody there that's going to take anything away from him. So,
Bobby
James
Tree.
Fitzpatrick.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
did trade for Robert Woods.
I like Robert
Forgot
Woods.
about
I
that.
just,
Bobby
he's
Tree.
just not he's not a target guy.
Forgot
He's
about
not he's not going to come in there and just take over the A.J. Brown role like that. Like, that was the question. I think Robert Woods is going to be Robert Woods. I think he's a good player, but he's also getting older and coming off of a pretty major injury. So ACLs aren't what they used to, but being somebody who just is coming out of their 30th year on this earth, being 30 is rough. So tearing your ACL and being 30, I don't necessarily think I'd sneeze at that as a wide receiver per se.
Yeah.
On a new team, especially in a new offense.
I think Burks is the 102 consensus based off the landing spot. Love the talent. Love the landing spot as well. Tennessee run heavy. We all know what they're going to do. But if he steps in and sees 110 targets this year, I'm not surprised. But like you said, Garrett Wilson, I personally like the landing spot. I like what the Jets are doing. I think they are building something special over in New York, something they never did for Sam Darnold. I'm pretty excited to see the route it takes. I'll be honest with you. The landing spots or the wide receivers drafted, like, I love Jahan Dotson, but I didn't see him going 16. I'll be straight honest with you. I did not.
I hated where he went.
Yeah,
Hated
that was
it.
weird for me.
It's
Yeah.
Jamison Crowder all over again in Washington. To me,
Yeah. Jahan Dotson, I mean, he offers some great, he's a great, safe guy, speedy guy, can get open, safe, reliable hands. But I did not have him as a first-round graded talent. I had him in the same area of Watson and Sky Moore. And now the landing spot, I'm definitely taking Christian Watson and Sky Moore over Jahan Dotson. And I feel pretty comfortable saying that. I had Jahan Dotson going in the second round of any startup draft for these rookie classes.
Yeah. And just to be clear on Wilson, I don't dislike Wilson. I'm pretty high on Elijah Moore. I like Elijah Moore, a good fit. So it's not necessarily a knock on Wilson as much as it is an endorsement on Elijah Moore.
I like Elijah Moore.
if you guys didn't have the 101 and you had a top 5 pick, do you think this is the time to sell it?
Yes.
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 Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. 'Cause I'm not sold on any of
Get
them.
rid of him. Yeah.
I'd rather move down to 108, 109. If you can get another asset with that for the 102, try to get a 2023 first.
Yep. So exactly.
And move back. I think that's the way to go for anybody that's listening that is stuck on that decision. I think Brees Hall is the only one that I'm like, that's the guy I absolutely know is going to hit. He landed in the safest position out of all the players, I think. That's just the way I would go. I don't want any pick between like 2 and 6, honestly.
I'll be honest with you though. I know Rashad Penny's there.
I like Walker.
I like
Walker. If I need a running back, Walker for sure.
Yeah, I don't like Walker landing in Seattle with all those running backs there already. I know those running backs have a lot of trouble staying on the field.
Yeah,
but
Carson needs to retire, and Rashad Penny, like I told you guys the other day, is probably already hurt. So
He's sneaky old too. He's like 27.
I wasn't a big Walker guy, and then he went somewhere where I kind of, again, when Penny's healthy, I like Penny.
And I like the pairing. I like the pairing with him and Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll has always made it known he wants to run the football. and he's the best pure runner on this team. And
Yeah,
you look at the running back room.
When he went to Michigan State, he went off from day one there.
Yeah.
First game. And way different than how he was at Wake Forest. I mean, Wake Forest isn't known for running the ball efficiently.
Support him. They didn't have the offense to support him.
So that's what I would do. Like I said, I'm in the air between Burks and Walker. I'd probably go Walker. I think he's safer. I like the running back pairing in Seattle. I know they're awful. I know Dwayne Brown's not playing. I know they got no QBs. But I think the run game is what's going to be their mold. And I think Kenneth Walker's going to be there for a while and support that, support running back. What's their running back 2 numbers for at least the next 4?
They still have wide receivers, though. Not allow defenses to stack the box as well. It's not like you can just let DK and Lockett go.
And they did just take Cross to help out with Walker as well. So
I'm stacked that box. If Drew Lock beats me in a football game, then fucking so be it.
I'm not letting DK loose.
Stack the box all day.
Yeah, I don't think I want DK and Tyler Lockett back there running free.
They're a little different than Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton running.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't think Lockett's dropping those balls that Jeudy was dropping.
Pete Carroll's a smarter coach than I don't remember who Denver had last year.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw a stray out there at our boy. All of them. I like the Denver receiving core. I just Seattle. I don't think you want to leave those guys wide open like that. That's all.
But I'll tell you what, my running back 3 going into it, I did not like the landing spot at all. Isaiah Spiller.
He got buried in LA.
You had a running back 3?
I had
After
right.
2, after 2, I'm done.
I had him at 3.
Actually, I did have a running back 3. I like Damian Pearson. I like that he went to Houston.
Yeah, Houston's solid for him.
Yeah.
I like James Cook that he can catch, but I low-key, as a homer, I liked where Hassan Haskins went. I mean, he went to Tennessee. I think he can carve out a role there. I mean, he's a pounder. He was good at Michigan.
So I like the Florida guy. AJ likes the Michigan guy. Fair enough. So we didn't really all have running back 3s. We just like the guys that came from the colleges we were.
Yeah, Penn State doesn't ever produce good running backs.
Come on, man.
I love it.
And, Noah Kane didn't even, so I didn't have to worry about a running back getting drafted. I'm with Frankie. I like Dameon Pierce. I think Houston's a great landing spot. Granted, they had 7 running backs rostered last year, but none of them made any difference in anything.
We're good.
Yeah. I don't even know if David Johnson's contract's done yet, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Is he honest? Is he still on there?
Yeah.
David
Just the guy they traded DeAndre Hopkins for.
Yeah, in the bag of Doritos.
He'll probably end up on Baltimore this year, like the
I'd be so mad. J.K. Dobbins to the moon, baby.
Yeah, Spiller getting buried changed my mind.
I bought him in 2 leagues, luckily. I'm so excited.
Traded me Dobbins. Thank you.
Huh?
Trade him Dobbins.
You traded me Dobbins for Mixon.
Who was that? Oh, last year? Oh, yeah.
No, like,
Well, hindsight.
You just did it like 2 weeks ago.
you traded me Tyreek and Dobbins.
For what? I don't even remember the fucking trade is now.
Mixon, Claypool. Was that you?
There's another receiver. I know there's another receiver. It was Mixon, Claypool, and somebody else.
I swear that was you that gave me Dobbins.
It was him. It was
Okay,
him.
I'm not tripping.
No, you're right.
I send a lot of offers out.
What league is that in? Whatever. We'll talk about it later. I forgot what to do. Yeah.
He's pissed.
Well, speaking of
No.
Mixon,
I mean, I bought him in 2, sold him 1, but
I'll tell you the trade. Goddamn it, hold on.
Let the listeners know.
It was Tyreek. Yeah. It was Tyreek Hill and J.K. Dobbins for you. I know you received them. It was Mixon on your side. I want to say it was Gesicki was in the trade.
Yeah.
No, that's a Justin Jefferson trade that I was absolutely pissed about. Okay, here it is.
I stole him.
Yeah, shut up. I don't want to talk about it. So
people are about to turn this thing off if we keep talking about fantasy football teams that they're not.
Yeah, screw this. Listen. I got to get to something eventually here. Look,
hold on.
huge landing spots for Christian Walker to the Packers and Sky Moore to the Chiefs. How far up did they go up your boards?
Watson went up.
Sky Moore for me went to the roof. I think Sky Moore is like the wide receiver 4 at worst in this rookie draft class. And I didn't watch a lot of Watson, just to be completely fair, but I don't like that he's a North Dakota State guy. I know Sky Moore didn't play at the biggest school in the world either, Western Michigan, but we've seen players come out of Western Michigan and be really good in the NFL at that position in particular. So I'm more comfortable with Sky Moore. And again, I love Patrick Mahomes. I like Mahomes more than I like Rodgers. I like Mahomes' disposition more than I like Rodgers' disposition with a rookie wide receiver. So yeah, Sky Moore, I would say I would take probably Burks, London, maybe Olave, because I don't know what's going on with Michael Thomas. And then I'd probably go Moore.
Take Moore over Wilson.
I already went over that earlier. I like Elijah Moore a lot. So I like Wilson. I like the fact that he's a good player and that he's going to be on a good offense, but I don't think he's going to be the wide receiver 1 on that offense. So no, I
think
would rather have.
Alone would get you
but Sky Moore is going to be the number 1 wide receiver on one of the best offenses in the NFL.
I don't think he's the number 1 or the number 2.
Okay,
I think he went down on my board actually. I mean, Juju, you still got Kelsey as the 1. Juju's the 2. McCole Hardman started coming on at the end of the year last year.
Yeah.
I literally am not worried about Juju or McCole
Juju's
Hardman at all.
too.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Juju or McCole Hardman. And I said wide receiver 1, not target 1. I know Travis Kelce's going to
Everybody said the same thing when the Chiefs took McCole Hardman in the second a couple years ago. Oh, he's going to blow up. He didn't do anything.
Okay, so you want me to trust that he's gonna do something now over the guy that they just drafted? No, thank you. I'm gonna go Sky Moore.
What's different about Sky Moore than McCole Hardman?
He's got potential. So I'm gonna go with the potential over the guy I've seen not be successful. That's just me.
That's fair.
I'll be honest with you, Deli. I didn't know there was a wide receiver named Christian Walker in the draft. But now,
did I say Walker?
Yeah, you did.
He played for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
My bad.
First baseman.
Yeah.
And then completely slipped from me. Damn.
Trade was Tyreek Hill, J.K. Dobbins in the 2023 third to AJ, and then Deli received Mixon, Gesicki, Jerry Jeudy, Chase Claypool. I think it's actually a really decent trade. I'm still taking Mixon over Dobbins, just me personally. But Tyreek Hill, like I said, if it was Kansas City Tyreek Hill, I think that's a lot to trade for. I want to see how it plays out in Miami first. So I'm not mad at it either way.
So pretty random team that I wanted to ask about. The Colts. How do you guys feel about the Colts draft? They took Alec Pierce from Cincinnati, wide receiver, with their first pick in the draft, and then they went Jelani Woods, the tight end out of Virginia, who I like a pretty good bit. But how you guys feel about the Colts?
I do like Alec Pierce, actually. I had him inside my top, I want to say it was like 13 wide receivers in my rookies. I like the landing spot. I think
they got him at 53, I think.
He's going to step in and play opposite Michael Pittman from day one. That wide receiver room is very thin. I think he steps in and carves out a decent role. I'm not mad if he gets 800 yards and 4 touchdowns this year, 4 to 6 touchdowns. I think his role can grow. And they're playing with a more stable QB. Matt Ryan hasn't played with the O-line this good in a long time. I think Matt Ryan's going to have a solid year in Indianapolis.
I think his quarterback transition's kind of similar. The way, like I touched on earlier, how they play tall in the pocket. I think it could be good for Pierce. We'll see. I don't know what he ran in the combine. Do you guys know what he ran?
No, I don't have his numbers off the top of my head.
I want to say it was 4.51.
I mean that's good. I mean,
how do you feel about Woods, AJ, Mr. Tight End Guru? How you feel about Jelani Woods out of Virginia?
No idea. Not gonna lie to the followers.
No, you're good.
I don't know Jelani Woods.
Athletic. He was really athletic out of Virginia.
The only tight ends that I really knew were now I'm drawing a blank. It put me on the spot.
Trey McBride.
Trey McBride, thank you. Who's behind Earth, and then The guy from Ohio State that went to the Jets. I kind of like that landing spot.
I didn't expect that, but you know what I mean, because you have Conklin, you have Uzoma, and then you take him in the third round. I didn't expect that actually, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Woods out of Virginia. We're relatively close to UVA, so some of his stuff comes up pretty locally on stuff. So I liked him, especially a landing spot. They just lost a tight end, right? Is Doyle still there?
No, Doyle retired.
If Doyle's there, does it even make a
We
difference?
got Mo Alley Cox, right?
Again, not a big difference there. So I like the landing spot for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not advocating necessarily for taking Jelani Woods in the first round of your rookie draft or anything. But if you're
a late third.
I'm saying if you're a tight end needy team,
they got that Grayson guy from last year. The tight end, something Grayson.
But now,
Crickets.
yeah,
you got me on that one. All I'm saying is if it's late in your dynasty draft and you're a tight end needy team, throw a dart at Jelani Woods.
I respect that. Deli, but back to you, Christian Watson. I have him at wide receiver 5. Love the landing spot. You're more excited about Sky Moore. I'm more excited about Christian Watson. I know North.
Oh, I didn't say that. I like Watson.
No, Frankie. I'm referring to Frankie.
You responded to Deli.
I think Christian Watson comes in to a shit ton more opportunity than Sky Moore does. Like AJ said, they have proven, they have guys on their roster that are going to demand targets before Sky Moore. On Green Bay, I'll be honest with you, other than Alan Lazard, I don't give 2 shits. I don't care who you are.
Is Alan Lazard really even competition, honestly? Because I don't think he really is.
He knows the playbook. He knows the schemes. He's played with Rodgers.
Lazard, Tunyon, and Watson.
And Tunyon's coming off an ACL tear.
Yeah, and he's huge.
I still think that Aaron Jones is going to get a bulk of the receptions this year.
See, 80 catches possible.
Yeah, for sure.
And my question is, can Amari Rodgers be anything? You know what I mean? I liked him at Clemson. I did.
I did too, but they showed no usage at all last year.
At all. Rodgers doesn't trust him, and he's not going to throw it to him.
And he did nothing.
Yeah.
All of their wide receiver 2s got hurt last year, and he didn't do a damn thing.
And another crazy thing, man, I liked him at Clemson as well. I did not expect Justin Ross to go undrafted, but he did.
Yeah, that's
wide receiver. It's over at Clemson. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Over?
That's a proclamation.
The wide receivers, they're not coming out. They're not producing like they were at Clemson last year.
No, that's true. It's the wide receiver you right now is Alabama.
I don't know, man. I think LSU. I'm going to go with LSU.
It's Alabama.
They got 2.
You're going quantity or quality over quantity here?
I mean, you got Jamar Chase.
I still think it's going to be Alabama. Jamar Chase is the only one out of LSU that I'm like banging the table for.
Justin Jefferson?
Oh, I apologize. I forgot about Jefferson. That's my bad. But still, I'm still going Waddle. I'm going Waddle, Smith, Judy, Henry Ruggs. No, don't do that.
Ruggs.
Don't do that.
Comeback player of the year next year.
Yeah, don't do that. He's excluded from that list. But yeah, no. Alabama's wide receiver you right now.
Bro, did y'all see the meme that said Deshaun Watson and Henry Ruggs are going to be putting up mad numbers in the prison league?
Yeah, I'm good on Henry Ruggs. AJ can have all that stock.
What's crazy is I made a trade for Henry Ruggs last year, literally the day of the accident in the morning. I gave up a 4th for him, and the guy.
Is that as good as me making that Ridley trade the day before he got suspended for Debo?
I'll take a flyer on Ruggs. I gave a 4th for him. Yeah, he got Debo for Ridley. The day of the
day before he got suspended
from Cody.
Ellie, you made a Ridley trade the day before too, didn't you?
Yeah, Montgomery for Ridley.
Yep.
You got Montgomery?
Yeah, I got Montgomery.
Nah, I got Ridley. Steven got
Montgomery. You're on the wrong side. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Deli was like collusion.
We'll pour one out for you.
Yeah, Deli was like collusion, bro. You had
collusion
about it. He's like, you had to know Ridley was gambling on games.
My man got the inside source.
Yeah. That's why the Eagles didn't trade for him. But speaking of the Eagles, man, Vernon Hargraves, Fletcher Cox, both on the end of their contracts. For Fletcher Cox, probably 33 now, getting a little bit on the older side. Still an all-pro talent, but they draft Jordan Davis. I mean, you're 350 and you're running a 4.7. You're a hell of an athlete, bud. Get A.J. Brown. Then the Kobe Dean slides to the 83rd pick. Another team that I really like their draft as well. To me, an A-plus draft. Thoughts on the Eagles?
I like a lot what they did with A.J. Brown. They made a lot of moves, so kind of tough to follow them all, but I do like the Nakobe Dean pickup. Even if he doesn't play this year, it's just at that point in the draft, it doesn't make sense not to take him. I don't understand what other teams were thinking at that point. There was talks of him going in the first round, so anytime you can get value like that late in the draft, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me not to. I think A.J. Brown is the best wide receiver that the Eagles have had since Terrell Owens, so I think anytime you can go out and make that type of upgrade to your team, you do it. How the Cardinals pulled off the same trade for a worse player literally 2 picks earlier doesn't make a lot of sense to me when you consider Hollywood versus A.J. Brown. But, yeah, I really like what the Eagles were able to do to shore up that defense to, like you said, replace Fletcher Cox, add Nakobe Dean in. They don't have a lot of help on the back end still, but a good start to building that defense, and bringing A.J. Brown in is obviously a win with Devontae Smith as well.
Yeah. That's what I was going to get into is do you think with A.J. Brown going to the Eagles, it stock up or down on Devontae? I mean, obviously, real life, it helps Devontae out. It takes the pressure off him for, like, the wide receiver one. Because I don't think he is a true wide receiver one. But as far as fantasy goes, do you think stock goes up or down for Devontae with the arrival of A.J. Brown?
I think it
For
has
fantasy, it's got to go down, yeah.
See, you can see the side of it. 'Cause I think it also go up because, I mean, take the pressure off. You see there's tons of teams in this league now that have 2 receivers that are productive.
Yeah, but it's the quarterback situation that's the problem. I think that targets are going to go to A.J. All of the valuable targets are going to go to A.J. Brown. So Devontae Smith, he's not going to see the reliable targets that A.J. Brown's going to see. He's not going to see the slants. He's not going to see the comebacks. He's not going to see these short little things that he can take and just make something happen. He's going to have to catch deep bombs. And then, as we've all discussed, we're not huge on Jalen Hurts' capability of completing those types of passes. So that's what I'm saying. I think 2 wide receivers can exist in an offense, just not that offense.
You guys got Steven sweating because Dallas Goddard's losing all these targets.
Me a lot, bro.
He's got a lot of shares of Goddard.
I told you, man. Goddard's not a good one, man. I'm trying to tell you early.
You're
don't want to listen.
This is ridiculous. You can't.
That's what you get for taking that was a little a troll pick that the Eagles made on the Cowboys, and that's what it's turning out to be, a troll pick, because Dallas Goedert ain't worth a damn.
See, we can't be we're not doing this, but
we are right now.
It's done. We don't have to do it. It's already done, bro. Stick a fork in it.
I agree. I think Devontae Smith's value goes up a little bit. I see both your points. I definitely not disagreeing with what you're saying, Frankie, at all. I mean, like you said, it's very controversial with Jalen Hurts passing the ball. I don't believe in A.J. Brown. I think his stock goes down a little bit just because of Jalen Hurts. But I think Smith goes up because A.J. Brown's taking that coverage away from him. I don't think Smith is a wide receiver 1, but as a wide receiver 2, I think easily, I see a 850 to 900 yard season. I could see that. And I think that's doable for a wide receiver 2 in Philly. With A.J. Brown, probably right around 1,100 yards. Could be more. I mean, but I don't know what's going to happen there with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. Is he going to utilize a true wide receiver 1? He's never had a wide receiver like A.J. Brown. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I think if you can buy Smith at a low cost, I think it's worth it. I take the flyer on. I mean, if you're going to take a flyer on Bateman, I'll take the flyer on Smith. Who would you guys rather have there?
I'm going to keep Devontae.
Over Smith?
Yeah.
Bateman and Smith, we're talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Devontae. I like the talent more.
I'll take Smith.
Fair enough.
I like
Bateman's wide receiver 1, so I'm going Bateman on that one.
I'm kind of split here. I guess I'd slightly lean Smith, but like barely.
Yeah, I like the talent. I'm just gonna.
Bateman's a 2.
I ride talent.
I'm out on Jalen Hurts as a passing quarterback, so I'm not taking his wide receiver too. And especially if you're saying Goddard's also getting targets, and they're a predominantly running team anyway. Like, no, thank you. I'm going to take the person who's going to get the better targets in Bateman because again, the Ravens are also a rush heavy team, so I'm going to go with the guy who's going to get the more valuable targets. Like that's how I like to operate value efficiency.
That's what's great about fantasy though.
On the Ravens because they have Mark Andrews, so
yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that part. I'm just Andrews. I think gets a little bit different of a route tree than Bateman's going to get.
That's what's good about fantasy though, man. We all have different opinions. That's what makes it fun. We all target our guys. That's why they're our guys.
We've been very nice to this draft class, by the way. Can we start talking about some draft classes that we didn't like? I'll get going if you want, because I hated the New England Patriot draft class. And if you have any shares of any New England Patriots in Dynasty or fantasy football in general, you need to sell.
I hope you guys didn't like that wide receiver from Baylor because he's going to be garbage.
Mac Jones and who'd they draft?
That wide receiver, he ran like a 4.2.
Tyquan Thornton out of Baylor? No thank you. I'm fading everything about
next Kendall Wright.
No, I don't want any it doesn't matter who they took. Whatever wide receiver the Patriots draft, I don't want. They can't, they don't know what they're doing. So they could have took Chris Olave and I'd have been like, yeah, I guess Chris Olave is not really good at football because the Patriots drafted him. Like, they are terrible at drafting wide receivers. So no thank you on anything that the Patriots did. This was a terrible draft. Cole Strange in the first round. What the hell is that?
See, but you guys see what Sean McVay said?
Yeah, that they were going to take him in the 106.
Yeah, he's off our board. It was kind of a jab at Belichick, too.
It should have been a terrible pick.
100% was a jab at Belichick.
But
Cole Strange.
This
pick.
This is Bill
terrible
Belichick.
Pick.
This is the pick that's going to work out. Just what I mean, I don't put anything past Bill. Tyquan Thornton, yeah, you can keep him. I'm cool.
I put a lot past Bill without Brady.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they're a playoff team without Brady. You know what I mean? I mean, that's
Brady's a Super Bowl champ without Bill.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, it's Brady. We always knew Brady. It was Brady over Bill. We always knew that. But Bill's pretty good.
There was a lot of people saying Brady is Brady because of Bill.
I mean,
not Bill is Bill because of Brady.
I didn't mean to bring up the Patriots. I didn't know this was going to happen. I wouldn't have done that. I didn't mean to do the Brady Belichick discourse. Jeez, Cole Strange sucks. Fade Mac Jones.
We're going way off this way.
Yeah, like
towards Brady
fade
and
Mac
Belichick.
Jones, fade Jacoby Myers, fade all of the New England. Fade. I don't even remember all 8 of their running backs anymore, but fade all of them.
I didn't like what the Bears did.
I agree. I didn't like the Bears either.
I thought they should have got a wide receiver. I think they drafted one, but nobody really fantasy relevant.
No, kid out of Tennessee. So nobody out of Tennessee is ever.
No idea what
Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Velas Jones Jr.
Yeah, no. He's a no from me, dog.
They took him.
Darnell Mooney's stock kind of goes up though, right?
Got to, yeah, got to.
This is why I love Montgomery as well. More catches for him.
They drafted a running back.
Shout out to Ryan Odell, baby, David Montgomery.
I didn't really like what the Bears did either, though. They did. They didn't have a pick until pick 39, and they took a corner. So, and they took the second best corner off of the team that they drafted him from. So, not overly hype about that. So, yeah, Bears bad draft.
Also, revenue. Just saying.
I think what was weird, I've never seen 2 punters go in the 4th round. That was really weird to me.
Matt Ariza should have went in the first round, just to be clear. He's the greatest punter of all time.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just kidding. But he's really good. My man can punt a ball 80 yards. That's silly. He literally can flip field position like that. It's dumb.
Also, another thing that I never understood in this draft was Vikings trading back from 12 to 32. especially with an in-division rival. I didn't get that.
They traded with the Packers.
That's what he's saying.
They traded with the Packers twice in this draft. But that's the big one that made like that confused me. Now, granted, I do like Lewis Seen. I do like him, and they did get Andrew Booth in the second round. A fan of Booth as well. But again, a core abdominal injury. I'm gonna probably, struggle to get back from that. I mean, he had abdominal surgery, so we'll see. But that's the one thing I did not like the most about the first round. I did not like a 20-pick trade back with an in-division rival. Yeah. Now, granted, I thought Malik Willis was going 12. I thought he was going 12, and they said, "Nah, give me Jameson."
Could have gone
Any
9.
drafts you didn't like, Deli?
What was up?
Any drafts you didn't like?
I mean, Patriots is the only one that I absolutely hated, to be honest with you. I mean, Cole Strange. I was looking at the board, and I get it's like later in the first round. Maybe I don't know some of these guys, but Cole Strange out of Chattanooga in the first. I feel like he could have been on boards like round 3 or 4. But hey, what do I know about football?
Another draft I didn't like, Green Bay. I know we were talking about Walker or Watson, excuse me, but
Sorry, I put that in your head.
Yeah, man, my bad. I didn't mean to bring it back up. But literally saw memes on the internet about the Packers not drafting wide receivers in the first round. They have 2 first-round picks, so everybody's saying there's no way they can't come out of the first round without a wide receiver. And they draft a linebacker and a defensive tackle. Like, I know the wide receiver board had not played out well for them up to that point. But I feel like if Detroit can trade all the way back from 32 to 12 with 1 first-round pick, there's no way that Green Bay couldn't have made it all the way from, 22 to 12 with 2 first-round picks
22.
to just grab Williams. I mean, he was there. So, I don't know. I'm not a huge – or just trade for A.J. Brown. Yeah, like, I don't understand – what Green Bay was doing.
Any other team but the Packers, but it's pretty on par for the Packers and not help Rodgers. So I really wasn't surprised. I know like the media was kind of pushing for a receiver, but at the end of the day, when have they ever taken a receiver in the first round?
Yeah, I agree that it's not on brand for them to take a wide receiver. I just think it was a bad idea.
I mean, for sure.
17 years since they've drafted a wide receiver in the first round.
And the last one worked out good for him, Javon Walker.
Well, all of their second-round wide receivers have played out pretty well, too. They got Jordy in the second, Devontae in the second, Randall Cobb in the second, Cobb in the second. Like, they drafted a lot of really good second-round wide receivers, so that speaks well for Watson as well.
Second-round picks, what's that say about Watson?
Right.
The Cowboys, too, taking Tyler Smith. I like Bernard Riemann out of Central Michigan over Tyler Smith. I noticed that Tyler Smith, when he at the point of attack on the offensive line, plays really handsy. That's a no for me. I know he can learn to fix that, but I think Tyler Smith was a graded second-round pick, and I know they just lost Randy Gregory, so I thought they were taking Jermaine Johnson, but they didn't. That move by the Cowboys surprised me a little bit as well. Granted, you lose Connor Williams and you lose Lyle Collins. The offensive line is huge, especially for Dak protection. But
it's weird they didn't go back to the offensive line in the draft, though, until the 5th round.
I agree.
Considering how much of a premium they put on it in the first, you would think that they would just attack the position, but they didn't.
What was also strange, too, the Ravens go in round 5 and round 6 back-to-back tight ends. I was like, what the hell do you guys need tight ends for?
Hold on. You asked about bad drafts. I'm thinking about it. Did the Bears take an offensive lineman in the draft at all?
I think they took 1. Hold on, I'll pull it up real quick.
Because if not, Justin Fields just took an L. They're not going to help this guy at all.
They took Braxton Jones from Southern Utah in the 5th round at pick 168, and they took Zachary Thomas, offensive tackle out of San Diego State, at 186 in the 6th round.
Okay.
2 rotational linemen.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Billy? Are you putting up an L for Justin Fields?
He already had an L up.
Oh yeah. That was the
sorry.
timeout.
And then they drafted 2 more offensive linemen in the 6th and the 7th round. So yeah, they did throw
so they're
darts.
just basically hoping to hit on somebody.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
throwing darts, but that's
They
about
took
it.
Kyler Gordon early in the second with their first pick. He's a good corner out of Washington.
Yeah, but he was the second best corner on that team.
That's because Trent McDuffie's really good.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing. I didn't like their draft.
I think Kobe
That's all.
Bryant, the corner out of Cincy, he was really good. I mean, he's behind Sauce. He was actually the best corner in the nation. He won the award last year.
I'm just listen, man. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying.
I get it. They should have addressed the line, but at least
Yeah,
they
like,
For sure.
I didn't like the pick.
I do like Trent McDuffie's landing spot as well.
I like what the Chiefs did.
I do. And you're talking about another draft. I hate the Washington Commanders draft. I thought it was awful as well.
They're terrible.
Terrible.
Just disband the franchise.
Biggest,
Honestly.
granted, probably biggest need is wide. I don't even think a biggest need is wide receiver. Their safety, Landon Collins
It's
probably
secondary.
is.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton's on the board. Please take that motherfucker.
Trent McDuffie was on the board.
Duffy is on the
I was honestly worried as a Giants fan, but no, pass.
You're loving that.
Yeah,
Oh,
right. That's the
for sure.
best case scenario for you as a Giants fan.
Small wideout out of Penn State. Give me that.
You gotta hate the Eagles draft though. They had like I said, a phenomenal draft. As a Giants fan, you do have to hate that.
I mean, yeah. It's tough,
I feel like
but-
the Giants fan base has it easy to go down considering how good their draft was. It's easier to accept the good drafts when you have a good draft.
Yeah.
I'm actually this first year. I'm actually happy coming out of it. Every other year, I've been like, great. Well,
There's some optimism for you.
another
Now.
Giants draft. Yeah.
Do you guys like James Cook in Buffalo?
Yes, I do.
I don't know what he carves out.
Yeah,
Right.
I will say this. I think Devin Singletary earned his touches down in the second half of last season. He played really well down the stretch and in his first playoff game. Second playoff game in the Chiefs game, it was whatever. But
They took him on a second-round pick.
I just don't know how I feel about Buffalo running backs because they don't like to use. They just want to throw the ball there. They don't want to run the ball. So.
But a second-round draft pick, I mean, that's capital.
yeah,
Yeah, but if they're not going to if they're not going to give him the touches, it doesn't matter because they want Josh Allen to drop back 50 times and he's going to run the ball himself. So, I like the draft capital and I like the player. Just the offense that he's going to doesn't necessarily scream fantasy production. I like it for real football, just not for fantasy football.
I said it last year too.
Agreed.
I think Zach Moss was droppable last year. He's definitely droppable now. If you own Zach Moss, you're really not going to get anything for him anyway.
So I don't want to sound like a hater, so I'll just ask the question. How'd you guys feel about the New Orleans Saints draft?
I actually think they had a really good draft. I'm a fan of Olave, and I told you I wanted Trevor Penning. Obviously goes pick 19.
You're okay with the price they paid for Olave there, though?
They fucked themselves when they traded with the Eagles anyway.
They basically traded like 6 picks for him.
Right, but I'm saying like
Oh,
they got really aggressive before the draft started, so I knew where their head was at essentially anyway. They gave up a first-round pick to move up 2 spots with the Eagles, so that can tell you how aggressive they were going to be from the jump. But I mean, you walked away with your guys, you got them. That's essentially what it came down to. You got the guy you wanted. You got 2 guys.
6 picks for Chris Olave, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of draft capital.
that's a lot.
You got to.
They ended the draft with only 5 total draft picks, and they
The
traded a
thing, this
bunch of
guy's
draft
Ricky
picks to
Williams.
get Chris Olave. Like, that's crazy to me. I don't want to sound like a hater. I'm a Falcons fan. I know the Falcons and Saints have the probably worst relationship in the NFC South, but I just think that the price they paid for Olave is crazy, especially when you consider they only came out of the draft with 5 players. Like, that's crazy. It's not like the Saints are – I mean, yeah, they have a good roster, but they're not locked and loaded and ready to go win a Super Bowl right now. So coming
That's
out of a
Ricky
draft
Williams
with
all
5
over again.
yeah, coming out of a draft with 5 players
But
and
it's
giving
not
up that
Ricky
much
Williams.
capital for 1 wide receiver is crazy.
I mean,
agree.
it gets Jameis a deep threat.
I think Olave steps in day one, but if they gave up 6 picks for him, then I mean that is paying a lot. But I still love Olave's talent. I think he steps in day one. Kind of, like I said, don't like comparisons, but he does remind me of Terry McLaurin a little bit. I think it would be good, but yeah, that's the only player they got. And they got Penning, so not terrible, but
Yeah, I was excited about their first 2 picks. Like you said, it sucks the capital they gave up to get him. But
Yeah, that's too much. Yeah.
I'm a fan of Olave, and I'm a fan of Trevor Penning.
Fair enough.
I mean, anybody else y'all want to talk about? I mean, 32 NFL teams. I do.
So we've talked about most of the teams, to be
I
honest.
think that wraps it up almost.
Yeah, I do.
Touched on things.
I do want to give a
Missing
shout out
anybody?
because we didn't really talk about him much, but Devin Lloyd picked 27. I was pretty excited for the Jags on that pick. I'm a fan of Devin.
Oh, yeah, it's a big hit.
Big hit.
I was going to see him going way sooner, but I guess I don't know. I just wait draft board falls.
Yeah, I had him going around pick anywhere from like 15 to 20. But
I thought the Eagles were going to take him with one of their 2 picks.
so did I.
Luckily, they ended up getting Nakobe Dean in the 3rd, but I thought they haven't had a linebacker in years. It made too much sense for Philly.
Yeah, Howie Roseman for some reason seems like he's allergic to drafting linebackers early. I don't.
He's like, nah, we got Alex Singleton. We're okay.
Yeah.
He runs all over the field after he blows the coverage and makes 140 tackles.
I know they brought in a linebacker from LA as well. Drawing a blank on his name from the Chargers. Oh man, it'll come to me.
Junior.
Bud. Dug yourself that hole.
Nah, it'll come to me. They yeah. They brought in a linebacker from the Chargers as well. And then they added Hassan. I forgot they added Hassan Reddick. I mean,
Yeah, I like the Reddick side of this offseason. That's going to be big.
See, so many things happen. I forget. I love Reddick, actually.
Yeah, Reddick, especially coming back to Philly. He went to Temple.
Yeah.
Frankie and I were at that draft in Philly.
Yeah.
Philly Eagles fans wanted Reddick that draft.
They were so mad that he didn't get drafted.
draft.
Oh yeah, we were up hella close.
That's cool.
That's sweet.
That's the Patrick Mahomes draft. We were there.
Yeah, the Patrick Mahomes Watson draft when they
That was when-
traded up for Mitch.
They traded with the Niners, who didn't need a quarterback. Then it makes they
Place
move
went
up one pick.
It was a great experience. If you guys can get to a draft, go to a draft.
I want to, but
Nothing like it.
it's
Nothing
definitely
like
a
it.
bucket list.
Wait, AJ, you know all the hackers and stuff too. What draft were they at? Because there's a thing of them.
The Philly draft.
Same draft.
They were there.
Yeah, we saw them.
That's cool. So you got to see Mahomes come on stage and all that.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
all.
we were close. We were right on the gate. So the
Yeah.
gate, there's like a walkway between all the seats, and then there's a walkway and then the gate. We were right on the gate. Up
Yeah,
front,
Basically right behind the stage production, like
Center.
where they set up all of the stage production stuff for the camera crews and ESPN and NFL Network, and then where they have all the teams set up. We were right at the gate where they have the
We sat
basically
there-
where the
sat
only
there
place
for like
where the
4
fans
hours.
can go that
was
the
gonna
fans aren't invited in.
Because there's no like seats. You guys would just get there when you get there, right?
yeah.
Yeah, standing room
It's
only,
like a
first come,
concert.
first serve. Yeah.
Deli, that's definitely on the to-do list before I die. Go to an NFL draft.
Yeah, y'all ever decide to fucking do that again, let me know.
And believe it or not, the city of
If they keep
Philadelphia.
it in Vegas, I'm down to go whenever for sure.
The city of Philadelphia planned it perfect. They had a perfect
was-
traffic pattern. They had
Yeah.
parking everywhere. I was actually really surprised.
Where was it at? Was it in between like where the 3 stadiums were, or was it like in Philly somewhere?
It was in Philly,
It was down. Yeah, it was by the museum.
Oh, okay.
like the Rocky Museum.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they did it on those steps.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Other than that, boys, I think we've hit this draft coverage pretty well. I had a lot to talk about. I mean, like I said, we missed our rookie talks. Next episode, though, Deli, we have a mock draft planned. We're gonna do, we'll see if we can do 6, see if we can do 8. We'll see how many people we can get in here. We're just gonna do a simple 2-round mock draft, super flex style. We'll draw names out of a hat, have the board set before we get started.
Could just randomize it on a sleeper. But
Okay, you're doing too much. You're doing way too much.
It's not that hard.
No, I'm not.
you want to write names out and put them in a fucking hat like we're in kindergarten.
That's how we did the basketball draft, bro.
We're gonna sit crisscross applesauce while he does it, Deli. Calm down.
I'm just like Cody, man. I don't know how to work this shit. You're lucky I know how to work Zoom.
You
But
just create a mock draft and add people.
all right, yeah, y'all,
Yeah, like
y'all do it then. Y'all do it.
Hey, we're just a guest.
But other than that, yeah, 2-round mock draft, simple, get it started, get going into the rookie drafts. Like I said, Deli, we got your rookie draft next week. AJ, yours follows, and then the big 14-team rookie draft is after that. So we got a busy 3 weeks.
Can't wait.
I know I got 101 in that one. I have nothing in your league, Deli. AJ, I don't know what you have in your own league and things like that. I don't think you have anything.
Yeah, I got 203.
We got 204. Hey, we're fighting for somebody down there.
Yeah, I'm hoping somebody falls. Let somebody fall. I mean,
You can get Jelani Woods.
yeah,
Trey McBride.
let's go. Tight end guru.
But yeah, Frankie, good luck. I know you got 103 coming up next week. Other than that, boys, like I said, I'll see you for this mock draft, and we're done. We're out. I didn't end it. Shit.